Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Oklahoma State men's basketball recap. Another win, another day, another win for the Oklahoma State Cowboys, improving to 6-0. 67-64 was your final score over up in Wichita. I'm joined virtually by Grant Ramirez. Grant, how's it going, man?
It's going great, man. Good to watch some basketball today.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So it was weird. It was really not the greatest shooting performance from either team, but something that I noticed in the first half that really stuck out to me is free throws. I mean, Wichita State, they got to the line a lot. I think, in fact, I think I wrote down it took OSU 16 minutes and 59 seconds to finally get to the charity stripe, and that was a huge difference. But I mean, uh, how about for you?
Yeah, I think in the first half, that was definitely the difference. I think the thing that kept OSU in the game was offensive rebounding. In the first half, they were
Oh, sure.
up 9-0 on offensive rebounding, getting those second chance points that kind of kept them in it. So I guess that kind of helped them overcome the free throw shooting difference there.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, uh, I guess a big news thing that kind of popped up before the game was an interesting decision for Coach Mike Boynton to start a true five, a true center, Bernard Kuma at center. I
Yeah.
mean, thoughts?
Just from watching him, I didn't think he played that well. But Coach
Yeah.
Mike talking after the game, he said he got big minutes. Obviously, you just look at the stat sheet. He had three
Hmm.
fouls and one turnover. That's not
Sure.
good for anyone who's
Yeah.
just looking at it.
No.
But Coach Boynton was impressed with how he's a big body, so his
Oh,
screens like
absolutely.
is useful to get people open and stuff like that on offense. I definitely think he has the ways to go on as far as his defensive rotations and being a little bit more aggressive. But I guess that was just something that Coach Boynton just kind of wanted to mix up. He said after 5 games, you kind of get an idea of like maybe something that you would want to try to change. So I think he just wanted to try to switch it up, especially considering Caleb had a little bit of an issue so far going,
Yeah.
just getting started and staying consistent in the starting lineup.
No, that's actually a very good point because when people look at a starting lineup, they think a starter just because a person's a starter automatically means they're going to get the maybe the most minutes, the most playing time. Kuma started, but certainly that wasn't the case. Although what I did note, Bernard Kuma, although it was kind of unforced, he when Bernard Kuma was playing defense, he forced two turnovers from Wichita State, so that was encouraging. But yeah, the defensive rotation is a great point. But then of course, Cade Cunningham, man,
Kate Cunningham is a real deal.
I tell you what, and I tell you what, I mean, only Cade Cunningham, his second shot attempt in the second quarter would be ultimately the game winner.
Yeah, didn't take a
Or
shot
second half,
until
yeah.
about a minute 30 left in the second half, which is crazy. OSU, Cade Cunningham has kind of carried them through a lot of these games just because his scoring is averaging over 20 points per game going into this game, and then he struggled a bit in the first half, got a little bit going towards the end of that half, and then second half came out and just wasn't shooting the ball. He got swarmed a lot on defense. That was obviously Wichita's focus was not to let him beat them. Uh,
Hmm.
but he came through down the stretch. That he didn't let that get him off his game. He was still productive. I think something that's worth noting is even though he didn't score that much compared to what he usually does, he was plus 14, which is by
That's
far the
huge.
highest on OSU's team. So I think that just kind of shows how his impact is without him scoring. And then obviously him coming down, everyone knew that was his shot to take at the end.
Hmm.
You knew he was going to take
Sure.
it even though it wasn't his day. But he had full confidence it was going to go in, and it did. So
No, you're absolutely right because something we've learned very quickly. The thing with Cade Cunningham, a huge recruit. It's not very something that's I guess great about him is his character. He's it's kind of uncommon for a player his caliber to be so unselfish, and the plus 14 is it really makes sense is because there was several great assists. I remember I think it was a Cade Cunningham assist to Avery Anderson, who stepped right into a straightaway three and knocked that down. So yeah, that's the thing. Cade Cunningham is he's a great player, but he's a team player too. And
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, his priority is always first to get his teammates involved, and then he kind of picks his spots from there. I think it's big for OSU this year that they have some other people that can kind of pick up the scoring slack if he has a game where he doesn't score as much.
Okay.
So obviously, Ice had how many points did he have? I think around 13,
Yeah.
14, and then Rondell Walker came in and added 13 off the bench, who's been really good.
Yeah, he's been fantastic.
Yeah, on both sides of the ball. He's super aggressive. He can get into the lane seemingly whenever he wants. Didn't have the best shooting night from outside, but he knocked down a couple, and that was big for them. So I think just having other offensive threats other than Cade when he's not scoring, I think is big for them.
Well, sure, absolutely. I mean, you look in the first few games, Cade Cunningham, he's their leading scorer, but then you have, M.A. Moncrief, Walker, Likely, and then, Likely's a junior, but you have, the future is bright. You have all those freshmen that are really pouring in, great points, great performances all around. So.
Right. I think that's the difference with this team is sometimes, heading into games, obviously you assume Cade is going to get his, but kind of after that, you don't really know like who's going to have the night that night.
Sure.
And step up with a big scoring performance or a big game or something like that. And even if guys don't score, I feel like they impact the game in other ways. So I feel like they have a really well-rounded roster in that way.
No, I agree. So yeah, it was a big quality win. I mean, really, not only Big 12, but like any time you go on the road and play, a really formidable opponent in Wichita State, road wins are huge. So a big win for the Pokes. So they moved to 6-0, and then I guess on Wednesday, which is I guess some sort of a quick turnaround, they'll be at home back in the friendly confines of GIA starting Big 12 play with TCU, who has, obviously started their season, I think, off to a good start. I'm not too sure, but, it's crazy because the Big 12 this year is going to be exciting.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It always is. But
yeah.
Especially this year, I feel like there's a lot of uncertainty with what could happen. So it'll definitely be fun. I think they non-conference kind of prepared them a lot for that going up against these two, Marquette and Wichita State today. I think
Absolutely
was definitely important for them. Just before then, going against some good teams like the ones that you'll see in Big 12 play. So I think it'll be fun, and I think the team is as ready as they can be for it.
Yeah. Alrighty, Grant, is there anything extra you'd like to add before we close up here?
I don't think so. I think
All right.
we covered most of it.
Yeah, well, thank you guys so much for watching once again. Oklahoma State gets the win in Wichita 67-64. We'll talk to you guys later.